How often did she visit? She visited regularly until November last year. The year before, sorry. The incident is more than a year ago.
The company says it's not sure if Bester will be returned to the facility after his rearrest and will have to monitor his movements very closely should he be sent back. Baba Londenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The ANC has slammed the Patriotic Alliance's motion of no confidence against Joburg Mayor Thapelo Ahmad, calling it a baseless attempt to grab power. Yesterday, Action SA Gauteng structures announced plans to have Ahmad ousted, saying he is incapable of efficiently running the metro. The ANC-EFF coalition essentially voted Ahmad into power earlier this year with the support of the Patriotic Alliance and other minority parties. Alpha Ramoshwana has more.
ANC Regional Secretary Sasabona Manganye says Action SA is being opportunistic and is attempting to break down the governing coalition.
So we are cleaning up the mess of the DA and the Action SA, and if we are busy cleaning up, they want to disrupt that process.
He says discussions with the Patriot in Joburg Mayor Thapelo Ahmad.
If the decision taken is a decision that suggests that they want to go with Action SA, we will deal with that when we reach that stage.
Patriotic Alliance President Gayton Mackenzie has described Ahmad's election as a mistake. Alpha Ramoshwana, Eyewitness News.
And Eskom has warned that there is a possibility of load shedding intensifying as the system remains vulnerable. The ailing power provider ramped up its power cuts to stage 6 this afternoon, which are expected to last until 5 tomorrow morning. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 6 degrees, peaking at 24. Pretoria 7 and 25, Vereeniging 5 and 24. Lerato Huffela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind.
This is a normal response.
Rob is who, Nicole?
What?
Rob is who, Nicole?
Rob is just my uncle.
Why will I? Why Ulaya? Because Rob and Bizana and Gomapebezala.
No, it's just a nickname. Like I used to call you Han before we started.
Why Ulaya?
Rufus, we all just happy that he's back in the country, safe and able to tell his side of the story. That's the Marumo Gallants media officer.
One simple thing: money is the root of all evil. Like I usually say to people, if Robert, I say to you, wait for me for an hour, and an hour passes by, for you it seems like a long time, but 21 days is unbearable. Playing again, it's not a hostage. We're using cold water on a daily basis.
Changing and re-engineering sports on the continent and the world.
Mom Cecilia's, yeah? Cecilia Molokwane, the face of netball. Madam President, pressure? I don't see pressure.
Mentions stress. On the 19th, it will be 100 days to go to the World Cup.
What's stressing you the most?
The one thing that I want best and mostly is the team to finish well.
#MSW.
He sent me a message today saying, you are talking bad about me, then I'll get you. Then I said to him, stop threatening me.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. It is Soccer Night right here on Marawa Sports Worldwide. 947 for my FM, Rise FM, Sowetan Live, wherever you are on the country, the continent, or the world. It is interactive, inclusive of going live on the YouTube channel. You'll watch and listen at the same time and also be interactive. 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. A busy night tonight. I'll tell you all about what's happening in Europe as far as UEFA Champions League is concerned. Maybe you want to reflect a little bit on what happened last night. We're just going to go across the border. A couple of borders, in fact. For the longest, well, I mean, you could never imagine the latest scoreline Bayern Munich experience against Manchester City. I mean, this is a side that has become such a fierce, hard-to-defeat force for so many years now. They almost become like the superpowers of European football. Are we about to see a decline of Bayern? I mean, is this the end of an era? I mean, the smile Thomas Tuchel has worn ever since being appointed as the new boss of Bayern Munich. And I say smile in inverted commas. If it wasn't for the slight rain and drizzle last night, who knows? Could have been hiding a bit of tears there. But I can only go and ask somebody who literally won a UEFA Champions League, played in the final, won so many league championships with them. He was at Bayern Munich. He's now back in his home country of Ghana. The legendary Sami Kufuor joins me. I know it's on the side of the road, Sami Kufuor, but good evening. Welcome to Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Rob. You're doing great.
No, we're very, very good this side of the world, Sammy. You know, every time Bayern plays, we who've been fans of yours and your football, won't say fans of Bayern, but fans of what you've been able to do for the continent and also for the country of Ghana. We always think of you. And maybe firstly, give me your impressions about what you saw with the change of guard of coach when it did and Thomas Tuchel came in and took over the coaching reins.
I think the whole of this has been struggling a little bit because a second lose has come on our way and we were on the legend platform and not everybody of these days changing the coach was a surprise to most of people. But you know, it's very difficult for the Bayern because of the changing the coach at this moment. Was really, really pleased with that situation. We still were leading the 2 games, coming down all the way. That's a very crucial because Bayern doesn't want to take any chances, doesn't want to take any risks. They knew that they are going to play Guardiola with Manchester City, and they are the great team. So they needed a change, motivation for the players. And honestly speaking, it didn't work out for us yesterday night.
Yeah, I must admit as well that this might not work out for us in terms of the quality of the line. But let me just shoot for the last time, Sammy, with regards to your reflections on last night. The game itself, Tuchel believes that it's not over yet. Do you believe him? Do you believe that they'll have a comeback and a half?
It's a football. It's full of surprise. What happened to Barcelona, I think, 4 years ago, when they were losing against Liverpool, I think 4-0, and they came all the way to make it, 3-0, to make it 3-3 and then 4-3 against Barcelona. Barcelona was leading 3-1 to Rome. Rome came in and made it difficult for Barcelona. So I think everything is possible, but you play against a quality team. And yesterday I was really surprised with the way City defend. In numbers, they were playing a different formation, different tactics. That surprised most of the people because if you see where John Stones was playing, as a centre-back, as a midfield, nobody can tell. So Guardiola, for me, I think is genius with the tactics yesterday. But moreover, there's a lot of things that can happen in this second game.
What would you say would need to change? Because from as far as the coach of Man City is concerned, he was talking, Pep Guardiola, about how things changed around, let's say, the 67th minute. But then when you look at what happened around the 65th minute, that is when a certain football player that he has been very happy to have in his team was then substituted. And when you substitute one of your key members of the team, but then you go into your press conferences or you go to your post-match interviews and you refer to when the substitution happened or when the change of guard happened, and then you start to think about who is he trying to imply to, and it will be a shock to a lot of people that it's probably the most famed Belgian midfielder that we know of. Is there some sort of beef that you've picked up, though? We've seen him being benched. We saw him coming off, and he was not happy about being substituted at the time that he was being substituted. What are you reading with some individual senior players of Pep Guardiola and also what Pep wants out of them now?
What I think Kevin was not on the top of his game yesterday, even though the team played so well with his contribution getting forward. With his personality being in the game alone, play a major role for City. And for me, I think they have a very big squad. And Kyle Walker, whoever does sit on the bench, they don't complain. You can complain, but with certain coaches, you cannot do that. And I think they have their chances, and they took their chances very well. For us, it's very difficult. For me, I was just expecting Sadio Mane to start the game because you know the English team. He has played against them several times. He scored more than 7 goals against Man City. So in this case, I was expecting for him to play. We're having a debate on our platform, Legend platform, and I put it on there like I believe that the Sadio should have started the game. And most of the legends, they agree with me. They say that they agree that the Sadio has to start. Because Canabry is a very good player, but he doesn't know how to play false nine. He is always very good on the side. When you have Leroy Sané, who was for me yesterday Bayern man of the match, and our defender, such a experienced defender making such a mistake, it's part of the game. But I mean, like I said, this game has something to tell next week.
Just a final one from me, Sammy, and I'm dismissing you not because I've got lack of things to say to you, but it's because of the quality of the line that we have, or the lack thereof. As when you talk about Haaland, and yeah, he seems to be the center of conversation wherever he goes and he plays, and when you look at the kind of records that he's breaking so far,
if you have a better player in your squad or in your team,
yeah, that's where we'll say goodbye to Sammy Kuform. I think we were expecting that, but I do thank him as well for just parking on the side of the road. He's over in Ghana. But yeah, I mean, what an influence he's had on international football for both his country as well as for Bayern Munich, lifting the trophy as well. But yeah, he was giving us his raw insight, also talking about Sadio Mane, the fact that he believes that he should have started the game. And maybe it was a bit too late for him when he did come on. De Bruyne. Maybe you got some insights. That's what I was alluding to with Sammy. Because if you really listen, sometimes coaches, when they do post-match interviews, they won't say exactly what it is that they want to say, but they'll say it indirectly. When you go back and you look at the stats and you look at the kind of minutes that he's referring to and how the game then improved and the team went on to score 2 more goals, then you say, okay, maybe that is the problem. Maybe that is who was not following the instruction of the coach. Remember, regardless of how good you are individually as a football player, if you're not taking instruction from a coach and wants you to play in a certain way, I mean, look at Stones. Stones referred to how he's been, converted to a completely different player, but he's had to be very patient to get to where he is. I can only imagine what's going through the hearts and minds of the Real Madrid and Chelsea fans right now, because after landing late in Madrid yesterday, Chelsea, newly appointed, even if on a temporary basis, the head coach Frank Lampard as well as the midfielder Enzo Fernandez were able to preview the UEFA Champions League quarter-final first leg clash against Real Madrid. Lampard returning to the Blues on the 6th of April. To see his former club through to the end of the season. So that's what his contract says. Following the departure of Graham Potter, who lasted just 7 months in the Chelsea dugout.
So to be here as a manager, particularly when a week ago today, even I didn't know I'd be here, is a huge honour for me, of course, and was a big part of my thought process of taking on the challenge here. This is an amazing challenge for me personally, as well as obviously for us as a team and a club. One thing I will say, having watched Real Madrid and having a relationship with Carlo Ancelotti, who's been incredible in his time here, and that the players have to understand is that this is a special arena and a special football club, and anything can happen, and some things you can't control. So we have to control what we can control with what we have now, understand the quality of the player, in the Real Madrid team. Lots of quality throughout their team. I'm just very proud to come back, and manage the team at this time to try and help, because we also have the league games till the end of the season to try and work with the younger players, develop a little bit, but also importantly try and get results. So I'm just very happy. But I don't link it to the past. But I can take. I know I've managed in this competition before. I know I've managed against big teams in this competition before. So I'm not daunted at all by the fact. In fact, I'm more excited than anything. I get the opportunity.
Well, the big question is, post the game tonight, will he feel as Pep Guardiola felt last night? Because, when the media was asking him a couple of questions at the media conference, he spoke of being emotionally destroyed.
It's not comfortable at all. Emotionally, I'm destroyed. I have 10 more years today. So, it was so demanding game. So now I have to relax, and day off, the guys prepare for Leicester again, and after we travel. I know exactly what you have to do there. If you don't perform really well, they are able to score 1, 2, or 3. I know that. The players know it. So it's an incredible result. Erling is always a threat. In the first half was disconnected, and the first half was not in the game. In the long balls, the league always beat him. In the short passes, always was one step forward, one step backwards, but the opening is there. He was not there. In the second half, when we start to play better, and he was part of the game. Yeah,
well,
we had to take a decision to see the performance on the pitch. In the moment, we need an extra energy
bad
to do with
experiences in these competitions in the
that's
past.
why I decided.
We need to be ready. It's not over. It's a good beginning,
here to take
a good
decision.
half.
And I take it. So that is my biggest quality as a manager. So I take it.
So when the coach says he takes it, and he takes it in the manner that Pep Guardiola describes it as him taking it, you get a sense that the boss, the real boss, is in charge. It's not about anybody else. It's not about what they think they can do. It's about what he wants them to do, because he's been their boss and he knows their qualities. You look at Rodri and the kind of goal that he scored. Look at the role that has been played as well by a Bernardo Silva. You've got to admire the approach of the team.
Well, everyone will say that, but we've had a lot of bad experiences in these competitions in the past, so we need to be ready. It's not over. It's a good beginning, a good half, but still a long way to go. We're just one step closer to where we want to be, but we know that one game in this competition is not enough. You blink for a second and you're out, so we need to be in everyone individually and collectively. We need to be on top of our form to deal with this competition and to go through every step to arrive at the final and then win this competition, which is a main goal for everyone at the club. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but I'm happy. It was a great assist from Erling, and I don't score a lot of headers, but I'm very happy to have helped the team and to score this one.
Well, it was very special for me because my first goal in the Champions League, of course, and I think it gave us the confidence to believe and to keep going. So yeah, very special one, and sometimes I have to shoot more. Always. I think Erling has this, he cannot appear much, but at the end he's an incredible weapon. He's always in the area, and today he made an incredible assist. Also, he understood what the space was to give that second goal to Bernardo. So, but I don't want to speak about the individuals. I want to speak about the team, the pulse of everything. I think it was a collective win today.
So important games coming up tonight as far as European football is concerned. UEFA Champions League drama. AC Milan up against Napoli, Real Madrid taking on Chelsea on the local front. And not forgetting, the team news is out with Golden Arrows tackling Mamelodi Sundowns. Marumo Gallants up against Chippa United. After the break, though, we do have in studio. They've been dubbed the best women's club team on the African continent. Their coach is here.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
Deal or No Deal is the game show everyone is talking about. If you're lucky enough to take the Deal or No Deal stage with me, Katlego, you'll get a chance to win up to 250,000 Rand in cash. Watch me play Deal or No Deal on SABC1 at 7:30 p.m. and on SABC3 at 5:30 every weekday. To enter, SMS the word PLAY to 43066. Standard SMS rates apply. Deal or No Deal is sponsored by Lotto Star.
Lotto Stars, licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Go far in the Hyundai Venue 1 litre turbo. Get your 2021 Venue 1 litre turbo and enjoy low mileage, 5-year remaining warranty and remainder of service plan. From only 3,699 Rand per month. Visit hyundai.co.za for more. 72-month term, 12.5% linked interest rate, 35% balloon payment, on-road costs excluded. Brought to you by Hyundai Finance, a division of Netbank Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
If you're opposed to a little April tomfoolery, let's chat. Take the opportunity to play on your new Oppo A78 smart, not foolish phone. It's a solid 5G performer with strong battery and comes to you for as little as $349 per month over 36 months on a 2.4 gig red core plan. That's a smart saving of 1,080 Rand. Deal valid till 8 May on new contracts only at Chats Connect stores. SA's largest independent dealer channel exclusive to Vodacom. T's and C's apply. A smooth operator.
Easy. Some things come easy. A smile when the team wins. A hug when the kids come home. A sigh of relief when the lights come back on. Easy sparks joy. So why should internet be any different? When you sign up with AfriHost, senza kube lula with our online payment options like PayFast and EasyPay. You'll be online in no time. Ukonwaba lula. AfriHost. Pure internet joy.
Woolworths W Rewards members spend 350 Rand or more on kids' fashion and unlock a chance to play and win guaranteed prizes. Apple MacBooks, watches, Nespresso coffee machines, and up to 50,000 Rand in cash and more. Now's the best time to shop younger girls' leggings at just 170 Rand each when you buy any two. Woolworths, the difference. T's and C's apply.
947 Music.
Life. Suffering from a cold, flu, or sinusitis? Try Voltex Mucus 200. It's an affordable, effervescent mucolytic that breaks down thick and sticky mucus to help clear the airways and relieve snotty noses and phlegmy coughs. Voltex Mucus 200 is available in a tasty orange flavor and is suitable for the whole family. Speak to your pharmacist about Voltex, available over the counter.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And by the grace of God, they're back on home soil almost a month later. Let's catch up with Rufus Matsena, who is the Marumo Gallants media officer.
You know, it was just an emotional thing. Even now, I'm still pinching myself, to realize that, no, I'm really, really in South Africa.
For you, did it make any sense as to why you were held captive?
It didn't make sense at all. Look, even the issue of people thinking that we were left behind as a collateral, that is not the case. The problem was that Dr. Ali, upon arrival, at first it was the three of us, he took our passport. The rest of the team came, he didn't take anybody's passport.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Ukuluma Nesbongelena Komkwan. Mr. Marawa, it's Wednesday night. It's a Champions League night, we can say so. It started yesterday, where we see Manchester City driving Bayern Munich. I was confident that Thomas Tuchel will have a plan to stop Man City, but it was a different story, Mr. Marawa. But let's hope when they go to Germany, it will be a different ball game. And today I'm looking forward to see my team Real Madrid doing well against Frank Lampard's Chelsea. But it won't be easy, but let's hope that the boys will show character as they show when they were playing against Barcelona last week. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show.
Sbongeleni, thank you so much indeed for the WhatsApp voice note. Get interactive throughout the entire show. If at all you have any questions or comments for our guest Jerry Tshabalala, Sundowns Ladies coach who's in studio, please feel free to share those with us, or you can call through directly into the studio 011-8838-947. You're live on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and on Sowetan Live. You're also live on YouTube, so you can log on. If you have never seen what the man looks like, Jerry Tshabalala, this is your time and your moment. Full of energy. But talk about energy. You know, when I saw the story that the TS Galaxy chairman or president, you get confused these days. between the chairman and the presidents. But yeah, when he posted on his social media the fact that they are in Benfica right now as we speak, and then of course we reached out and we said, yeah, you want to tell us a little bit more about it? You want to tell us what this deal is that has been done? Of course, as news people, you're very nosy. You want to find out so that we can share this information. Then it took me back, though. In fact, I didn't even think about it. I just thought, okay, this is a good time to reach out and spread the news. Maybe it is a good news story. So, the chairman president's response to us was very sweet. Very, very sweet message, yeah. So I thought, let me share the sweet message. And I'm sure Jerry would also love it. So we're not going to talk to him. I can tell you that much. We're not talking to him because he says, I think Tebogo Munyai can continue as our spokesperson in our platform until further notice. So immediately you'll think, what on earth is he talking about? Because Tebogo Munyai represents the SA Football Players Union. Then I thought, okay, maybe this show triggered something.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The other day, we had the TS Galaxy Club president, Tim Sugazi, right here in our studios. Is Tim Sugazi that loaded that he just decides during a World Cup to go to Turkey with his entire team?
No, there are things that you do, Rob, for the cause, and they're priceless.
With the envy of others when they jetted off to Turkey during the mid-season break. Who was paying for that?
I would say we are TS Galaxy.
Hey, that laughter doesn't say. So if you're paying 3 million for a trip to go play football during a World Cup, but you can't raise R1 million a month to pay for players.
For certain things, you'll break the bank. You'll spend your last penny, man.
South African Football Players Union Vice President Tebogo Munyai. For me, that doesn't add up.
It's a very disappointing thing from ourselves as well, where we're sitting here SAFCO.
At this very moment, the plan was to provide you guys half of your salaries by today, but no one inquired.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
I hope we never ever reach that stage with our next guest because, hey, forget the financial muscle that's been offered by Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, let's put aside, though, for now, and acknowledge the prowess and tactical astuteness of this man in making Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies such a fierce and remarkable side. And I often feel that we don't give Jerry Tshabalala enough flowers that he deserves. We don't give him the praise that he deserves. I mean, this man is not only coaching born winners, but he is shaping and molding strong, powerful women who are making their own, making big names for themselves on the continent and also elsewhere in Europe. We'll chat about other players as well. One of the players that has come back to the country after spending, 3 or so years playing overseas. Might have been left out of the Banyana team here and there, but that means nothing. She still goes back. She's a winner. She was winning in Europe. She continues to win with Sundowns. And it can never be smooth sailing, though, especially if you are coaching a different sex. And he certainly deserves a pat on the back. Jerry Tshabalala. Jerry is here. Good evening, sir. Good to see you.
Good evening, Robert, and good evening to your listeners at home.
Do you ever walk around feeling like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm the champ?
Nah, not at all, not at all.
What motivates you when you get up in the morning knowing that you're going to coach champions? And then when you do this on your sleeve, because right now your top button's open, it needs to be shut so that we can identify that star that the collar is blocking.
Okay.
That means a big deal because that means you're African champions. And that's a lot to defend. So what then motivates you when you wake up in the morning?
Yeah, look, Rob, when I first took over at Mamelodi Sundowns, I always said I wanted to make Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies one of the best teams in Africa, and back then, I think it was 2012, Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies was nowhere to be found in a Sasol League competition. But it only took me a year or so. The following year, 2013, we became the champions of South Africa in Sasol League. So what really motivates me, it's the fact that I kept on believing that I want to make Mamelodi Sundowns one of the best teams in Africa. And I've achieved that for a couple of years. And now the vision is to see to it that we want to make Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies one of the best teams in the world. Taking into consideration that there are rumors that there's going to be Club World Cup. So that's what really motivates it to wake up in the morning and say, I want to see this team as one of the best teams in the world.
So when you would have watched your counterpart in the men's team, then Pitso Msimane almost rubbing shoulders with the likes of Chelsea, who today we talk about playing in UEFA Champions League. So that is the level that we're talking about. I don't know, I'm sure even yesterday you were watching the Australias, the Englands that were playing, the Brazils. I mean, it was crazy, just the level of football. We'll get to that in a second, but talk about the Club World Cup for ladies now. What does that signify for you and your ambitions?
Yeah, look, when you look at first, let me just say, when you look at IFHSS rankings, we are amongst the best top 30 teams in the world, you know. So that tells me that I need to work more harder in terms of us being able to compete with your Chelseas and your Liverpools, you know. So basically one has to keep on working harder so that we can find ourselves surely in the top 5.
But you know that you're being extremely humble right now. You might talk about top 30. Which obviously means we need to work a lot. But at the same time, though, Jerry, you got to also acknowledge that we're not a professional setup here. We might have the league that we have, but let's also give people where you are as far as CAF is concerned, because you're number 1. You even first surpass teams in Morocco that have got better infrastructure than we have, that have probably started long before we did, but Sundowns are number 1.
Yeah, look, Rob, for one to be successful, you always need to stay humble. You need to stay grounded. You know, I remember when we won the first Champions League, I said to my players, it's just a glory, it's nothing else. We still got a Hollywood to win back at home. We don't have to tell ourselves that we have arrived, you know. So basically, for us, we just want to keep on winning. It's something which it's in our culture to say we want to keep on winning, you know. And being ranked number 1 is just rankings. They can change at any given time. But for the ladies and ourselves as Mamelodi Sundowns, we always want to be great, you know. And if you want to be great, you must have that hunger of winning all the time.
But if you're above the ASFARs, or as they call them, ASFA of Morocco, to be above Nigeria's Bielsa Queens, that's no small task.
Yeah, for sure. It all goes back to the hard work that we put at training, you know. I remember we are Mamelodi Sundowns. We wanted to be one of the best teams in Africa, and we managed to achieve that. So we just need to keep on working hard. We're not comparing ourselves with your ASFA, your Bielsa, but we feel like they are the ones who wants to be on our level, not us to be on their level.
So you reckon the tide is now completely turned?
If you recall, when it comes to women's football in Africa, Nigeria was always the top. And when you look at the Nigerian the leagues, the Nigerian Super League that they are playing, you know, they've got a very, very solid league. But we as Sundowns from South Africa, despite of what we have, we don't wanna say because we are not a world professional team. But if we are given an opportunity to compete to become the best, we'll definitely grab that opportunity with both hands.
I mean, you almost replicating what the male side is doing. and I'll ask you for your word on their success again this season. Season's not even over yet. I think they didn't even kick a ball that weekend when they became champions. But you've also done it 3 seasons consecutively. And when I zero into last season alone, in 27 games, you guys did damage. I mean, you can literally tell us 27 wins from the 30 games that you have.
It started a long time ago, Rob. When you remember when the initial league was launched, we went all the way without losing a game.
Yeah, you had the 30-game proper record.
You know,
So that's why I said, and I'm sorry to cut in, that is why I'm saying that even if you were to have been fired for whatever silly reason that they would have done that to you for, I just feel that we recognize the success of women's football at national level. We don't recognize it at club level, and come back then to recognize your input in what you're currently doing, because the male counterparts, they get that recognition. Right now, Rulani deservedly gets the recognition. Before, it was Mangoba, you know, Steve was there, Pitso was there, and all sorts of other coaches that were coaching Pirates or Chiefs. So when I go back to you and you talk about that proud record and you talk about last season 3 times back to back, what does it say?
Now, for me, Rob, I still have to work harder.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to compare myself with anyone, but when I look back from the Sasol League, there's a late coach who really inspired me, and Jabu Mabasu, who was the head coach of Palace Super Falcons back then. You know, I always kept on saying, if he could do it 3 times in a row, what will stop me to do it 3 times in a row? But that really motivated me to be where we are today with the team. You know, so basically now it's up to us and the girls to say now we also want to be on the same level as our male counterpart in terms of them dominating it. It's close to 6 to 7 times in a row. We can also achieve that if they achieve that.
You play beautiful football. You love to attack. You love to score goals. That's what football does. If you don't score, you don't win. And I scribbled early on because I didn't want to forget this so that we can share this with everybody listening. I've been scoring 147 goals across all competitions just in 2022 alone.
Yeah, Rob, you know, it's good for us to play good football.
Yeah.
It's something that we believe in. And scoring goals. If you're gonna score goals, definitely you're gonna win. You're gonna win games. But if you don't score goals, you're not gonna win games. So basically, what we're doing at training, we're focusing more on finishing. As much as this season, it has not been that we have not been clinical as would love to be, you know. But it's a work in progress, and we understand that all the teams are gunning for us, and they want to prove that. There's also other female footballers in South Africa, but we still believe that we can bounce back and win the league.
All right, let me take a call. Kidiboni is on the line from Tembisa. Kidiboni, good evening.
Hello, Marawa. How are you?
I am so glad you're on the line. You know who I'm sitting next to here, the one and only. Welcome to the show. The coach is here.
Thank you so much. I know it sounds like I swallowed a hot potato, but the weekend was too long, Baba. But I'd just like to echo on what you said, Rob. I totally agree with you. He definitely deserves these flowers. Manje, in this day and age, the humility, as tiny as he is, very humble guy, that one. You know, his love and passion for the game is immeasurable. I mean, I had the privilege, I don't know, about 2 or 3 years ago to watch him interact, coach Desiree at one of the Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies games. I think it was against UJ, in UJ. And you can see the love and respect is definitely there. So, big up, Kaper. Big up, Kaper.
Kaper, your response before Ukiriboni disappears.
Asibonge Victress, siyabonga. Ngizokubiza nge-number plate, asibonge Victress.
Thank you so much. Good to hear your voice. Thanks so much for participating in the show. Do call us, like I say, that 011-883-8947. It cannot just be my voice alone, because this man has done incredible work. And if you do want to call through, you want to send your WhatsApp voice notes, this is the time. We've seen the upsurge of the women's game in a way that we haven't seen ever before in this country. And for the national team to thrive, it's got to start at club level. For the national team to have players that are playing and plying their trade overseas the way that they do, it's got to start at club level. And he has started and paved the way. You just got to look at the records. They speak for themselves. The records as far as scoring goals, creating, defending. You see who wins the awards at the Hollywood Bets Awards in the evenings. It's all comes down to one man and his technical team. And I know, like Kidiboni was saying, that he doesn't like praise. I don't even know why he comes to the studio here, because I won't say he's shy. Because you see him on the touchline, he's a different beast as well. We'll come back. We'll have more of this conversation. It's an important one all round. And also just ask him about what kind of competition is UWC bringing onto the table this season. Are they here to rock the boat? We've also seen the newcomers giving us a Tshwane derby. My goodness. Is the rain about to end?
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live. In 3, 2, 1. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
We've all heard of injury time, added time, and extra time, but poor Chris has hit extra time. While his girlfriend tries on everything in the store, he's been stuck outside the change rooms.
But look, Utemanigi is checking Betway Bulb.
With Betway Bulb, he's got access to the stats he'll need to place his bet on tonight's game, all right on his phone. There's no better way to burn down the clock.
Another feature, another gem. Halala!
It helps to be switched on with Betway Bulb.
Licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. For gambling counseling, call SARGF on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp 076 675 0710.
Do you with the revamped Suzuki Espresso, now with exciting new features. Do cool tech with a new generation touchscreen that connects you to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Do class-leading safety, which adds ESP and ISOFIX to the already impressive ABS, EBD, and dual front airbags. Do fuel efficiency with engine auto stop-start technology. Do you in the Suzuki Espresso from only 162,900. Contact your nearest Suzuki dealer to book a test drive now. T's and C's apply.
Rolling Stone calls it deliciously dark. The Hollywood Reporter calls it TV's best show of the century. While Tabang Modiadia from Deep Slut calls it the most riveting example of modern-day Shakespeare. Everyone's talking about the 4th season of the Emmy Award-winning series Succession. Don't miss the drama, deception, and family betrayal in the final chapter of this gripping HBO show. Sign up to watch at showmax.com.
Nuts, bolts, screws, nails, washers, wing nuts, hinges, pliers, hammers, work gloves, magnets, buckets, glue, metal rods, fasteners, drill bits, lumber...
Even at 120 words per minute, it would still take us over 4 hours to tell you about the 25,000 products we stock at Chamberlain's. Instead, if there's anything you can't find in our stores, we'll go out of our way to source it for you. So, for literally all your DIY needs, visit Chamberlain's for the widest range of quality products. Chamberlain's, famous for hardware since 1903.
It's time to find the perfect home internet for you. With space for the whole family, amazing views of the latest streamed shows, tons of uncapped data for the kids to play and study in. And the area? It's located on SA's best network, MTN. Unlimit your life in your perfect home internet. From just 249 Rand per month. No contracts. Cancel anytime. Visit your nearest MTN store or mtn.co.za. T's and C's apply. Doing starts at home. MTN.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And by the grace of God, they're back on home soil almost a month later. Let's catch up with Rufus Matsana, Marumo Gallants media officer. All of a sudden, Durko get involved. You are back home. Babjam was also back home. But what changed?
President of the Federation in Libya, who was fortunately, I think, in Durban with Dr. Jordan. They called him, spoke to him using the Arabic language. Then I was there when they spoke to him because he was on speaker. Then what I did, I went to Google and get Dr. Jordan's picture. And fortunately for me, guess what? The picture that came in, Dr. Jordan was with our former president, Mr. Mandela. Then I showed him, this is the guy that you're talking to. So immediately after, says, is this guy that powerful? I said, yes. Then immediately, you won't believe, he went to whatever, one of the offices. He came back and presented me with my passport.
So in his grave, Nelson Mandela came to the rescue.
I should think so.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Rob and Coach Jerry Tshabalala. Coach, I just want to compliment you for the role that you are playing in developing women's football in our country. We are going to the World Cup because of the contribution of people like you. And my question to you, Coach, do Sundowns players and technical team attend humility courses? Because I've never met a group of achievers like you guys, but who are so grounded and have got so much humility towards people and are very welcoming to people, irrespective of their stature or their contribution in society. And I think that is something that is very remarkable of the team. And I just want to find out from you, is it something that is embedded in the team? Is it something that is a culture of Mamelodi Sundowns? We'll be very keen to hear from you. Thank you so much. It's Tebogo here.
I can tell you, Tebogo, if there were humility courses to be attended to, this man sitting right in front of me will be the principal. All right, let's get schooled on that very good question. Humility courses. very grounded football players. Jerry Tshabalala, my guest here tonight. Is there such? I mean, such champions, such winners, such talent.
Yeah, Rob, look, we're very fortunate as Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies because the chairman of the team, in Klope Mutsepe, he had organized a psychologist for us as a team, so that on a weekly basis we get to sit down with his NOMSA just to try to be as humble as possible. So I think it works wonders for us, and the likes of Tebogo, they see humility in the team and in the players, and we really appreciate the support that we get from our chairman.
So you're saying it's a weekly session?
Yeah, it's a weekly session.
What's his NOMSA?
Yeah, what's his NOMSA, yeah.
Professional psychologist.
Professional psychologist. He was with us at Morocco as well,
yeah.
just to calm us the nerves down. So
that is crazy.
It's very, very crazy.
Oh. Let me speak to Percy in Pretoria. Good evening, Percy.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm talking to a winner here in front of me. You want to chat to him?
Yes, man.
All right, hold. Okay, maybe I'll put you back on hold. I think there's a little bit of a problem with your line, or we'll try to get you back. We do have your number so that we can get to the best form of clarity that we can afford coming through. Is it Guam? Good evening. All right. We'll come back to you as well. Percy, I believe it's a better line.
It's much better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cupcakes. It's something from Pretoria, Coach Jerry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, keep up the good work, man. I had a privilege of attending a coaching course with you, and I've learned so much from you as a coach.
Tell me what you learned. So, because we haven't attended, he's always attended our sessions in studio, but never a coaching course. So tell me what you learned so that we can learn something about him that we don't know.
His football knowledge and his football brain, it's something special. You could see why he is where he is.
And maybe Jerry, quickly, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, thanks, Cupcakes. One of the most humble guys I've ever attended the course with. I call him Cupcakes. He's a president. I think he's still the president of ELFA from Yesterda's Local Football Association.
Oh, Cupcake.
Yeah, Cupcake.
I see where you get it from. Maybe we also think we have a president.
No. Thank you so much, Cupcake. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Baba. Thank you so much indeed for sharing that knowledge. Not the best of lines, but I think we were able to draw from him what we could as far as that call is concerned. Mlindi in Soweto, good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, and how are you to the listeners and Coach Jerry?
Coaches here. Mlindi, go ahead, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Coach Jerry, I really appreciate the work that you've done for the ladies, the Sundowns. And I just want to find out what's your take on the current season, seeing that most teams are raising their hand in terms of challenging Sundowns Ladies. And how proud are you with the ladies that you've produced, especially for Banyana, including our captain, Andile? How proud are you of your players?
Beautiful one. Thank you so much. I'll ask you to listen on the radio.
Yeah, look, Linda, I'm very, very much proud of the girls that they've been representing as the likes of Andile, Bambana Limbani, Leonard Daweti, Karabo Jamin. It makes one very proud. It makes one to feel that he's more on the same level with the national team coaches in terms of what is expected of the players when they go to the national team, So I'm very, very proud. And I just want to tell the other girls who haven't torn the jerseys of Banyana to keep on working very hard. Yeah, going back to your first question in terms of looking at the challenges that we're facing currently, yes, teams are coming out very, very strong. And you can see in the manner in which teams are being run. Teams are being supported, the likes of your UWC, your TX Galaxy, University of Pretoria. We're ready for the challenge. We need to prove that we are the current number one ranked team in Africa by just responding quite well to whatever challenge that we're facing.
But there was a draw against TX Galaxy as well. It was 1-0. Maybe you'll chat more about that and other results. I just want to give as many of the shareholders of the show an opportunity to chat to you. 011-883-8947. We've got Sizwe from Tembisa. Sizwe, good evening.
Evening, Marawa. How are you?
I'm strong, man. I'm humbled here with the man that's sitting in front of me.
We are all happy, man, to having it here. So, sure, go.
Sure, go. Top.
Sharp. I should just add my callers and everyone who's been supporting you. You deserve it. And then, as much as we're not often born in Africa, Mara, some of us, we want to see conquering the world. So, all the best, and then good luck. From there in Mpumalanga, well done, and keep it up now.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. By the way, neighbor, yeah, Miguel, he turned this into.
Oh, tender.
Nah, he couldn't wait to hear what I'll be on the radio. Then he called in.
What's your name?
Maungambuza ukuthi bani best friend yakhe. Sibaningi kuleli sema best friend yo.
Oh, best friend or girlfriend?
Best.
Bye. Thank you so much indeed. I suppose it's a justifiable question. I know we spoke briefly off air, and you said it's early days. Once you get to double figures, once you get to 15, is it early days, or do you find competition now with UWC, for example, or TS Galaxy, as you've named?
Yeah, look, Rob, we just got to be honest. Credit must just go to UWC. They've been consistent.
Yeah.
When you look for the past 3 seasons, where they've started, where they are now, it shows that they want a challenge, And like I said earlier on, it's still early days. We once found ourselves in this kind of situation, and we managed to get out of it. But it's good for a team to collect as much points as you can as early as possible. But like I said, we are the champions of Hollywood, and we'll still bounce back. And I believe that we will bounce back. But I can tell you now, UWC it's coming very strong.
Unbeaten, eh?
Yeah, they are unbeaten in, I think it's in 8 or 7 games.
Yeah, no draws as well.
Yeah, when I look at the fixture, the Hollywood fixture, I like the Hollywood fixture for April for UWC. I like the games that are coming for UWC. And you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, you look at the games that they've played the previous month. Let's see if they'll compete as well.
So you'll have your April in about 2 months' time. Okay. I hear where you're going with that. Let's have a listen into what a couple of the voice notes have to say.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Mr. Marawa, thanks very much for having Umishengu studio. Mr. Marawa, just a quick one for coach. Since he is coaching a women's team, does he see himself in future coaching teams like Abo Mamelodi Sundowns, the men's team, Abo Kaiser Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, for example, or any team with the STV Premiership? Thank you, Mr. Marawa.
Spokeleni, thank you so much indeed. Are you coaching any men's teams? Next coach of Pirates or Chippa United?
Stay where you are loved, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like David Notwane.
Like David. I don't know what.
No. He's at Sundowns.
Yeah.
He resigned on this show where he was not loved. He was playing a few games for under 23. You didn't know that?
But I don't want to go there.
Pretending to know.
I don't want to go there.
This is not a telenovela. This is real life.
But what I'm saying is stay where you are loved. I doubt that in the near future I'll see myself coaching maybe in the men's world. But I really enjoy coaching in the women's space.
Because you've got to take podium for the FIFA Women's World Cup first. I think that is, taking podium is important.
It's very important. Right?
Yeah. I'll demand championship when we become professional. Because like I said, last night, watching all those women's games, I was saying, you can almost see the conditioning, the understanding, the running on and off the ball. It was a wonderful thing to see. And when you try and compare with where we are, I know those are national teams, you're coaching at club level, but it still goes a long way.
Yeah, sometimes we just got to be honest to ourselves as coaches as well. When you look in terms of the coaches, there are coaches that are, I always say they are short-term coaches and they are long-term coaches. When you coach a national team, you don't get to spend lots of time with those players.
Absolutely.
So you're a short-term coach. But as as a coach who coach in a season, I'll identify you as a long-time coach. When you take a typical example in PSL, when you take coaches like those who likes to save team from relegation, but when you give them the entire season, you find that they fail.
Yeah.
So we just got to understand ourselves and say, am I a long-term or a short-term coach?
But they've already made answers, because if they've been given long-term and they've been given pre-season, they will then say they got pressure from above. But then when they come mid-season, they'll say they didn't have pre-season. So I think they mess around with our brains. Let me go to Vusi and Soweto. Vusi, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. How are you, sir?
I am good. I am strong. I'm with the champion.
Fantastic. Look, I want to say hello to Coach Kappa, Jerry Tshabalala. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations. You are doing an amazing work in the football space of women. And look, as an outsider, just admiring the quality of work that goes into making Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies the brand that it is. I can only applaud you for all the amazing work that you do in your technical team. I just have one question for you, Coach Kappa. Celia Smith, I mean, stalwart. I know quite an instrumental player in your squad for the past couple of years. I mean, the decision to leave the club at such a crucial time in a year for women's football with the World Cup looming. I mean, how did you get to that decision to let go of such an important player in your squad, Coach?
Vusi, thank you so much for all the applause. It's a pity, you know. I wouldn't like to entertain this question, but I'm forced to give you the answer on this question. It's a pity, but I'm glad that everyone knows. We saw on the social media what happened when it was announced that when the team that was going to Serbia was announced. You know, that to say there are certain players that from the national team coaches whom she mentioned that she wanted some of the players to leave the clubs and go and get a game time on different clubs. It was beyond my power to say you're gonna keep the player. I don't know where you get it that we no longer have Talia Smith, but the coach herself mentioned that some of the players must leave certain teams to go and play. According to me, I still know that Talia she's still part of the team, but like I said, I didn't want to entertain this question that much. But like I said, the national team coach mentioned that some of the players must leave and go and get a game time somewhere. Yes, Talia, she's a very, very important part of the team. She's been regular at Mamelodi Sundowns. She's still part of Mamelodi Sundowns.
But leaving doesn't guarantee you anything. I mean, it's like if Lebohang had to leave and Lebohang had her ACL that was done in, there was a recovery time and period that she had to have. It doesn't mean if you go somewhere, you're going to get the game time you didn't get at Sundowns. But you don't have to respond because we've got no time. I'm going to quickly take this WhatsApp voice note.
Hi, Rob. This is Andrew from Rodipot. Rob, what an amazing and well-achieved coach that you have in the studio. I still believe that last year he was supposed to win the African Coach of the Year, because remember that a year before he had won the treble. He won the Hollywood Bets, he had won the COSAFA, he had won also the Champions League. And I still believe that, I mean, he's one of our top coaches in Africa. I mean, he has been doing it for many years and he remains humble and he remains hungry. So, Rob, I'm glad that you are giving him his flowers while he's still alive. And, Rob, just one question for him. I mean, last season, he went to the African Champions League, but they didn't do well. And I want to know, how does he plan to atone for that mishap?
Right. It wasn't me. I think his airtime or load shedding happened. But nonetheless, it's all good. We got the question. You have literally 10 seconds. Let's see if you're good with a countdown, sir.
Not that good, but we'll do our level best again. We know that we let two of our trophies gone, which is COSAFA and CAF. But when you look in terms of how we performed in CAF Champions League, we scored a lot of goals compared to the previous one, the 2021 one. And I'm still saying again to Masandawana and all the South Africans that we will go out there and bring back that glory for them.
Yeah, he did it. He did it in 9 seconds. Jerry Tshabalala is his name. Remember it forever and ever and ever. Thank you so much. Love to catch you again tomorrow.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.